Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to talk about the transition from being a bank fisherman to being a boat fisherman or angler, whichever one you prefer. And we're going to talk briefly about some of the things that you're probably not thinking about before you transition to the boat. And I'm just trying to save you guys, honestly, a little bit of frustrations that I've experienced in the past. So the very first thing I want to talk about and mention is, number one, your fishing hobby just got exponentially more expensive. If you bought a boat and now you're going from the bank to a boat, you have gas you got to think about for not only your boat but for your vehicle, or diesel if you're driving a diesel vehicle. You got that. You got insurance. You got maintenance. You got all that good stuff. So your hobby just went from here to there in terms of expenses. Number two is learn to back up your trailer and practice trailering and all that good stuff. There's nothing more frustrating to these guys that have been doing this for a long time than sitting there waiting for you to back up your boat into the water or trailer your boat. It's super frustrating for people, and there are a lot of people out there, unlike me, that are super impatient. I try to be patient. I've definitely been that guy where I've struggled to put the boat on the trailer. I've definitely been the guy too that struggled getting the boat into the water because of whatever the situation was, right? I remember early on trying my hardest and praying that I wasn't going to jackknife my boat, but being so nervous because there's a line of guys. I got there at the same time as 5 other guys, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, the thing that I think every bank angler needs to think about as they transition to a boat angler is think about where you've been fishing in the past as a bank angler, and think about where you're going to fish as a boater. If you're a creek guy, if you fished a lot of creeks, or if you fished a lot of farm ponds or whatever, cow ponds, whatever you want to call them, there's going to be quite the learning curve when you go to a boat. And I say that being a former creek and small pond guy myself, I really struggled when I first got a boat to get out there and actually have success on the water. And it was super frustrating. In creeks and small ponds, you got to think about where the fish can go. In a lot of cases, small creeks and small ponds, the fish can't go anywhere. Like, for example, just a horrible example actually, but if you go to a small farm pond, and let's say small as in it is 100 feet across and 10 feet deep at its deepest part, or whatever, 6 feet deep, whatever, and there's fish in there, the fish can't go outside of that 100 foot and that 6 foot range, or like they can't go out of that. They have to stay right there. They can't get out of the water and walk to another pond or anything like that. Same for some creeks. Some creeks, they might have, like local creeks that I used to fish back in the day, they had concrete barriers, so when the water rose up, the fish could leave and go on to the next section, but every single section for so far has this concrete barrier to help, I guess, to help with the city irrigation, not irrigation, but the city, water, I don't even know what to call it, honestly, to help with the city. I guess they had these barriers, to kind of help with the city drainage or whatever. That's the word I'm looking for, drainage. But so in my case, when I was fishing those creeks all the time, this section, as long as there wasn't a good rainfall, those same fish that were there the last time I went and fished, they're still going to be there today. So that's something to think about as well. Not everybody has a creek where they have concrete barriers. Not everybody that's fishing small ponds means that they're fishing super small ponds or anything like that. But it is something to think about. There's going to be quite the learning curve if that applies to you. And I would suggest getting on YouTube and whatever else and trying to figure out where to find fish in different seasons. But no matter what, as contradictory as this may sound, you're going to learn a lot by just going out there and just fishing and seeing what works, trying different baits and trying different techniques and methods and whatever else you want to call it. Experience is number one, first and foremost. And so if you just get out there and go after it, you might figure some things out. The last thing I want to talk about as a bank angler transitioning to a boat angler is have a checklist every single time you go out. Talk to somebody, make sure somebody knows where you're going. Give them a rough time of, hey, I think I'm going to be out here from here to there. Make sure you've got life jackets. Make sure you've got the plug, and make sure you put the plug in, and you got all your straps situated, and all that good stuff. And be safe. I think that is one of the most sound advice that I can give you guys, and it's advice that anybody, everybody needs to think about, or advice that everybody needs to take is be safe. Have a checklist. Every time you get the boat, to put it in the water, and every time you pull it out, you've got everything exactly where it needs to be, and you got everything tightened down. You've got the drain plug in, you've got the drain plug pulled out to let water come out of the bilge, whatever the case is. You got life jackets, all that good stuff. You guys need all of that stuff because the water can be dangerous. And also, a quick little thing I'm not going to talk much on is check the forecast, check your radars on your phones and all that good stuff. Weather apps can be your best friends because you don't want to get caught out in some really nasty storms or get struck by lightning on your boat. That would be horrible. So if you're a bank angler transitioning to a boat, I wish you the best of luck. Like I said, you go out there, try different things, see what works. Try to get as much knowledge as you can to try to help flatten that learning curve a little bit and keep you from getting as frustrated on the boat. Because trust me, there's nothing worse than going out there thinking, I used to beat the crap out of them on the bank. I'm about to get in here in this boat and beat the crap out of them out here. And you go out there time and time again, and you get skunked, and you're going, I don't understand what's going on. If you guys like these kinds of videos, please comment, like, and subscribe. I have my affiliate link down below as well. Full disclosure, I do make some money if you guys do order anything. But go check that out if you're looking for a killer energy drink. It's called Kill Cliff Energy Drinks. Super clean ingredients, no crash after you drink it. And you can get 10% off your first order if you order using that link below. Like I said, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the next one.